Hello YouTube from the future. Here is Insane Monster and we are working today on the playable part of this epilogue, which is called Vengeance, and is a new interlude developed for the Re-Reforged campaign, and it exists after the final mission of the human campaign Frostmourne. This interlude as we controlling Arthas, who walks around the undead base, killing undeads and hearing memories from his past while he's turning into Death Knight. Okay, I have implemented a lot of stuff since last live stream, and we are starting from that. Actually, I worked a bit off screen, so we are a bit further away than what we left, and I have to test a little bit of stuff. So as starting point today, we are going to test some stuff and see what breaks and what doesn't. Let's see and let's have some fun together. Lord Lorgon, banning stuff, and I have to say it, okay, just for this time, to tell you that you are banning this, is the worst thing you can do, but challenge taken. I will no longer say this incredible word. Oh well, I will try. It's 10 minutes to 21 and 52, so I will wait. I will try to not use this word for the time being, and it will not be easy. This is just like camera was last time, and I have also to stand up. Custom creation, of course, I obey. Okay, so this is it. Martha's walking around. Hello there, Michal. Hello there, General Michal.
Must feel it.
Okay, we are fighting. Okay, so we are in area 1 now. Let's see if I can avoid combat and see the cinematic. Hello Flynn, welcome to the stream. Will you ever... Okay, so we should be quite close actually. How goes it? We are testing stuff. I've done a huge preamble for the YouTube for the future. Timer expires, but nothing happens. This makes me a very, very sad peon. Now I'm in combat. So the timer is not working as it should. Sad monster, yeah. A very sad monster. Oh my god, Arthas here is a power-up. Okay, so something is not working. What a surprise. Let me see, because something is not working here, and this is very, very sad. Oh yeah, of course it doesn't work. Nah, no boogie. No boogie, it's my fault. I designed this comparison with the opposite value it should have. Hello, Lil Musta. Welcome to the stream and welcome to the chat. Custom creation, give me a second to breathe. I'm going to drink soon. let me try again now that I fixed this very, very broken thing. Yeah, I have to drink. You know, water elemental be summoned, and I have to answer. You know, Flynn, Lord Gom, my God, why do you have such an hard name to pronounce? Is has banned a very, very terrible word for me, considering that I use it not once, not twice, basically everywhere, every time. It's not that hard. You know, with this kind of things, by banning these words like camera or this one I can pronounce, you are actually helping me finding synonyms for words in English, so in a language that is not my own. And I think this is quite cool that you're helping me in this very, very weird way. Then my students in class just complain with me, telling me, hey, why are you speaking English when you are with us? And I'm like, don't know, just used to. Okay, we are going to wait for the timer to expire so we can see the cinematic, so the memory. Camera was terrible last time because I was working with cameras, so it was much harder than this one.
Remember, Arthas, we are
We attack.
paladins. Vengeance
Why
cannot be a
does he
part of
attack?
what we must do. If we allow our passions
He
to
should
turn
not
to
attack.
bloodlust, we will
I
become
know
as
why.
vile as the orcs.
Well, if Arthas didn't move, it would have worked fine, so I guess we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem with Arthas moving when he should not. And I know where the problem lies. And the problem lies by the fact that I should change the alliance status, but I didn't. Remember, Arthas, you should attack. And so Arthas did. And end of game. Remember, Arthas, kill the undead. And Arthas did. The end. So being a very different story. So let me go to player and change the alliance. And we want now to have, we consider the enemy as neutral, and we want and to both enemies, okay, to both of them. Okay, now it should work, but we have also to reset it. Hold the position, it's quite better probably. And here is okay, this makes sense. He will become invulnerable, so yes, the Scourge forces will ignore him, and in my idea, they should basically run around him in circle, keeping a bit of distance. This might be harder to make. I will try also to test this. I can test this easily, actually. It's a bit weird to test because there is this in combat, not in combat, but this in combat is when I get attacked. So yes, it actually makes sense. It should not happen actually when you are fighting, but it might happen if I reduce the some values enough. So I don't know. maybe it will never happen. Basically, he's supposed to wait when he's no longer in combat for triggering this scene, but it's possible to. My way to check if he's in combat is just checking he's not been attacked in the last 3 seconds. And this is not the best way possible to check this, okay? So it's possible, for example, that some units are coming for you, but they have not yet attacked you, and they reach you when you are already invulnerable. So they can do anything, but they will come near you. And I should have made a system to prevent that. I should now force this to happen in order to beta test it, but it's complex to make it happen. Okay, let me see it again. Because until I'm fighting, there is no way. No, I actually have an idea. Stupid me. The idea is simple. I just have to disable this. I will disable this too to prevent a lot of troubles and just use it without checking if I'm in combat or not. Actually, I can completely remove everything here from the in combat. So whatever it happens, actually I'm dumb because probably the best way to do so is just not to enable it here. Okay, and now it should work even if I'm fighting. So I will fight and see what happens when they can no longer attack me. If they come start moving around me, it's fine, and we are also covering this very weird case in which we might find ourselves during real gameplay. Because you know what distinguishes something which looks like AAA and something that it is not AAA is the attention to this kind of details. Is the fact that everything is very polished. This is what distinguishes AAA stuff from. Oh no! I'm going to start it again all over. I was at 11 minutes and now I have to start it. Damn Lord Lorgum. I said the banned word. So I need to restart in other 15 minutes. And beside that, what I was saying, that when you see Zodiac, you will not have me pronounce this word. Let the chat answer to you. It's a word I never use, okay? Basically, the idea is that when you are making AAA game or something that looks like it, which is actually the point in this work of mine, you want to put maximum attention to every possible edgy case. Because if you are doing an indie game or a mod, you are usually expected to not cover all possible cases, and so you the player might find himself in a situation which is not really programmed. And this is what you should avoid if you are trying to do something which is AAA. Yeah, Zodiac, I did it for 11 minutes and then I forgot to do it, okay? Just change it to think. It's so easy. How can you don't think it while you're speaking? It's so easy when I'm just when I'm just writing it down. Yeah, if I was writing instead of speaking, it would be easy too.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins. Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do. If we allow our passions to turn to bloodlust, we will become as vile as the orcs.
Huh. So I ask, what do you think of this effect with this? They should be slowed as well. How can I? Okay, I understand what you mean. Like, as if it was all slow motion, but I can't slow down the entire game. I mean, this is terrible because if something in the background is having an animation, I can slow down it. it's basically impossible, okay, to slow down everything. It's not. Yeah, I should actually all units in the game change their animation speed, but it's not something which is so easy. I can try to do so for all the units nearby. This is something I can do. Yes, and even it's a building doing something, for example, dying because it's being despawned. What should I do in this case? If I change the animation speed, I don't even know if it works if I change the animation speed. It can happen near buildings. The fact is that it should not look like slow motion. This is not what I really. Maybe the problem was that he was seemingly in slow motion. So probably if I remove the slow motion from him, because I think it was a bit too slow, the animation. Let me see what happens if I do this. And we do this again. Okay. Come on, come on. Come on, little game.
Must build.
I have a lot of ghouls around me now. Please. I should reduce the amount of time.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins. Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do. If we allow our passions to turn to bloodlust, we will become as vile as the orcs.
Yes. Actually, I think we can do this. Just give me a second. Okay. Now everything moves at real time. And I have to reduce the amount of time it needed to all this to happen. So we will now have just 10 should be enough. So we should test it fairly quicker. Yeah, Blizzard, you're really busy. Of course it's not busy, it's just an error. Because they said that it works too well. Something like it, but not more than visions, more it speaks to it, and so you see its memories and things like that.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins. Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do. If we allow our passions to turn to bloodlust, then we will become as vile as the orcs.
Okay. So quite hard because how would you render such vision or hallucination? Ah, God. They were moving a bit too fast. Maybe I can improve it. A way to improve it would be to probably I can reduce their attack speed and in general, but something else I can do is to try to increase this one and to change this a bit more so they are not so close. So we reduce they seemingly frenzy, because if this an abomination frenzy doesn't look like so good. So we have him a regular speed, because otherwise it's a problem. Yeah, but if you want to display hallucinations in a game, you have to render them somehow. Okay, but I don't know how to render them in the Warcraft engine. I don't think that it will look so good. What is happening? Game, what are you doing to me? Okay, the game had its input not working. I had to click on the menu button and then it works again. Okay, game is possessed. We need an exorcism.
Must feed.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins. Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do. If we allow our passions to turn to bloodlust, then we will become as vile as the orcs.
It's not really sound. Yeah, it looks better this time, I know. It's new. It's been made specifically for the Re-Reforged campaign. I'm answering to Armor Merchant. So I need to do this immediately as soon as he become attacked. So a way to do this is to have a specific group, which is Scourge Arthas Chasing. No, you will resurrect his swords as the first scene of the Undead campaign. I will say this, it will be the first scene of the Undead campaign. So we want to go here and Arthas Scourge Arthas Attackers group. And probably we want to make sure unit group to add all units from this encounter group to the Arthas attacker group, and then we want here to have something like encounters Scourge attacking group, Scourge keep attacking. Okay, and this is for every one of them, and so we can just do this for the Scourge Arthas attackers and Scourge Arthas attackers. Why is this useful? While this works fine now, this is useful because as soon as he becomes invulnerable, we can immediately order it without waiting for the following command. Another way to, now that I'm thinking of it, maybe, no, this is not the right way. Sorry, this was not a good idea for a bunch of complex reasons, especially timing reasons. This was fine. I just need to reduce this by a lot, and so execute it a lot more, and it's not a problem because it happens every so often anyway. And then just make sure that this one is executed only sometimes. This should be one, only sometime with a random number. I was like what I was doing before. So I have here random number, math random number between 1 and 100 less than, let's say, less than or equal to, let's say, 20 to do it. And then here I have to make sure they are not moving unless so we want to do this here and to do this here again to make sure it works, and then we want to have a do nothing in case that happens. Yes, Armor Merchant, sorry, I just read your comment now. Yes, this will explain why it's so weak in the other campaign. This is the point. Okay, this is the point of this playable epilogue. And this is okay, but we have to add here, and it is order comparison, and is unit current order of picked unit not equal to order attack or order move. Then, so if he is still, he will move again. Let's try this again and see if this works properly. So this way everything should work like before. We will have different timings here. We can even do this maybe something like this, is even more spaced. So when we have more triggers like that, they will evenly move themselves and not execute all at the same time, reducing the workload on the CPU. Okay, this is a way to optimize stuff. If you have a lot of triggers which do their own stuff, I can say it now. It's been 15 minutes. Yeah. Okay, I won. It was ending 2 minutes ago. So if they do their own stuff all at the same time, you will have the CPU a bit, maybe some hiccups on the CPU and stuff like that. But otherwise, if they are not, if they are evenly spaced in a random time frame, even if small, you will not have such hiccups. So it's quite a good way to optimize things. Let me try it again. It should work now. It should work now. And once we are convinced by this, and I don't know why Arthas was not visible in that. Maybe it's because of the angle. I should probably move camera to focus on Arthas. I don't know. It should be focused on Arthas, but it's depending on this new camera. It's not the best possible camera. Let's see what happens now.
Must feel it.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins. Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do. If we allow our passions to turn to bloodlust,
They move too
we will
fast.
become as vile as the orcs.
Okay, yes, the camera is not the best possible camera. So we need to even improve it in any possible way. And why is this not working? Oh my god. I've done a mistake, guys. This is the mistake. Sorry. Now this should work fine. And we need now to check the camera, because the camera has some issues on certain angles. No, this is before. This is before Arthas killed Mal'Ganis. Basically, I have removed the cinematic from the end of the end of the Frostmourne chapter 9. Okay, this is the idea. But I guess you'll discover it quite soon. If you are interested in playing Re-Reforged, you should know that it will come out in around 2 weeks. So, I had done some stuff here, but what is not working right? Let's hope everything works as I want it to work. Okay, so rotation is fine, I guess. Yeah, Mikkel, should definitely stretch myself a little bit. Camera height offset. The problem with these parameters, because the camera is not perfect on all possible angles, and the reason for that, what could I do? One thing I could try to do, I'm not even sure it will work. Camera target. I should change the camera target, but change camera target. This way. This is problematic. This is the distance. 8 offset. Okay, now I focus on him only. Because the problem is that if he is quite far, when I got close, he got cut. Because I'm going to do something like this. They are not putting it on sale because you can still refund it. This is the reason. Height offset, let me think. Let's see what happens if I remove only one of these. Just to be curious, just to see. I will keep the same distance, change the height offset. Maybe we can find a compromise which works quite well. Anyway, by the end it's not so important to change everything. If only the game worked as intended.
Must feel it.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins. Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do. If we allow our passions to turn to bloodlust, then we will become as vile as the orcs.
My dear armor merchant, I can't add support for a voice acting which is not included in the game. This is not something I will do ever. But not because I have anything against the people in Czech Republic. It's just because I really can't, okay? The real question is, what happens if I reduce the FOB to like 40? Just to be, I'm just curious how it looks. Because last time we were doing some experiments, but it was more limited. Because they can't attack him during the cutscene. I think this makes sense because it's the Lich King speaking to him somehow. And so they are not attacking him on purpose while the Lich King is speaking to him through Frostmourne. So it makes sense, even lore-wise. Let's try this once again.
Must feel it.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins. Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do. If we allow our passions to turn to bloodlust, then we will become as vile as the orcs.
The field of view is a very simple way to make it much more zoomed in, so we can try even more. Vile orcs, yeah. If I got a solution I like, I will then start making all other encounters. And all the lines are already done, actually. If we want to check this out, if we can go on, we will hear all various lines on all various areas. Yes, null version there is, but it's not in Re-Reforged, so it's problematic. I don't have all the files. They have their way to use the locales, and if I don't do it their way, it requires local files, and local files is something I'm trying to avoid any way possible. I can't zoom into Arthas' face here because it's not it's a procedural cinematic. It's not made by hand. You don't know where you are. You don't know what you are doing when the cinematic triggers. So I would prefer to avoid a weird issue like that.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins. Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do. If we allow our passions to turn to bloodlust, then we will become as vile as the orcs.
I can do this, yes. It's quite easy actually. We just need to do this. And this is too low. I think I'm going to do it this way. 30 seems like a good compromise. Yeah, the camera is centered on his origin. It's the model origin. And you can say, okay, we can center it on its head. The problem is that his head position with respect to his origin, to me it seems to vary depending on where he's going. I can try to make it a bit more, even here is not quite centered because it's centered here on its feet but not on its head. Center on its head, I can try to center it on its head, maybe with an offset, with a fixed offset. we can see.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins.
See, it's on his origin.
Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do. If we allow our passions to turn to bloodlust, then we will become as vile as the orcs.
Let me see if I can center the camera on Arthas, because the problem is I always center this on Arthas. Let me check with this here on the start. When we do this, over 0, camera hates up. The problem is that 8 offset is already used by the game. This is a problem because I can do this. I can center it on another position. I can center on a unit, but not on a point. So basically, offset. Oh my god, yes, I've seen it now, and I feel like a dumbass. Okay, so we wanted to go a bit further up, right? It was further up. Let me check. Let me use Arthas model actually. Okay, Dagger and I will drink soon enough. So if we are here, this point, we want to go here. So this point is like, let me try to use the regular camera here. It's like, it seems like around 100 on the epsilon. So let me check it. And this way maybe it works better. Maybe this works, everything works now if I do this. And I will also drink. Let me check. I didn't notice. It's evident I'm crunching, guys. And I'm starting to get tired. Not today, I'm not speaking about this evening. This evening I'm quite well, actually. It's in general. I'm universally tired. So now it's centered on his head. It seems evident. What is my favorite part on working on this? Of course, is the money. Making billions.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins. Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do. If we allow our passions to turn to bloodlust, we will become as vile as the
I have a
orcs.
bad feeling about this. You know what the bad feeling is? Is that 100 is not in global space, but is in local space. Or that it changes when you rotate the camera. When I rotate the camera, this 100 changes. This is what I think is happening. The problem is that I rotate the camera. Yes, so complicated. Yes, it's complex. Because when I rotate the camera, basically the epsilon becomes the x, and so it will center on the wrong place. But I can set the offset over a certain amount of time. Let me see. He has no offset. No, this is not. And I can't even do this over a certain amount of time. Because it depends on what his rotation is. If I'm rotating, it's not working anymore. Because the offset is different. How can I solve this if I have no global space to local space? Because I should basically interpolate through all the time, changing the offset at each second. But if I also do this, I can't rotate because it will reset. Yes, but when he kills the camp, they despawn the buildings, so it's easier. The buildings will be despawned by the acolytes. So how can I do something like this? How can I do this? The only thing I can do is to not rotate as much. Is to find a compromise. So let me think if I use the default fob. So I reduce a bit this. And then I reduce this a bit, like 45. And then I reduce a little bit this by like 75. Maybe it might work. But we need to check. We need to check it. Let me see. You see how much time it needs to make something that looks good? I would love to count the amount of hours I have spent in this project. It would be quite boring.
First field.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins. Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do. If we allow our passions to turn to bloodlust, we will become as vile as the orcs.
I think this is acceptable. It is quite centered. It should be acceptable in my opinion. I think it's quite nice now. Okay, let's take this for done. We have same fob, different distance and the offset, smaller rotation, a bit reduce the point there, a bit reduce the thing. Oh, okay, yeah, I have not resetted it here. I should reset here too, and then this should be done. Now, at this point, I'm going to actually add more Scourge encounters, and I will copy this code. Okay, this code will be copied. Basically, I have already prepared all the encounters here, and we have all these units, and some of them will speak. Okay, so for example, here Banshee will speak, and here ghouls will speak again, and here Abomination will speak. Here Crypt Fiend will speak. A random acolyte, when attacked, will speak. They will speak, and so forth. But they will not have the text displayed. I want to immerse the player a bit more, so I'm not using display text here anywhere. And so one other thing I want to do before we go on is to actually change the music. So we have custom music for this, and you will tell me how it looks. So I will now just copy the code to make the music, and then I will start making more encounters and see if they works. it can be nice. I want to despawn all the various undead buildings, at least the first base. I want to complete it in the next 20 minutes. No, 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 I don't want you. I want you for the US Army. Okay. Yeah, so I get copyright striked by the entire world, basically. So, here, this was more complex than what I need. This is enough, and this is the music. This is still temp stuff, but why not? We need to do it here, temp. And here's not Zoval Battle, but it's this one, and I will play it at like 90%. You will tell me if it's too high or not. Then we'll go on and start just doing this a bit more. And you know what? This will be quite easy to do because it's just copy paste and change some stuff. So it's something I really enjoy doing from the point of view of my brain not working at all. Zoval Battle is the music that plays during the encounter with the Guardian. It's not that you are fighting against Zoval, as if I even knew who Zoval was, but... So this is 1. This is 2, Necromancer. 3, all ghouls. 4, Abomination and Crypt Fiends. So I will do this 4 now. If I even put the War Jailer in here somewhere, people will just kill me. You know that. I will be killed. And I'm not joking, I will be really killed. If you use your names well, this is easy to do. And it's fast to do for everyone. If you don't, well, sad pee on pape. They will all be mine in the end. Yes. I agree, Mr. Necromancer. And actually this never disable itself. This is quite weird. I'm stupid because I should disable this. And I should disable this whenever units are not enough. Maybe to avoid having it doing too much stuff all at once, we can do this. And then if the amount of units, or well, more than that, unit group are dead, if all units in Scourge Encounters 1 are dead equal to false, then we turn on the same triggers. Okay, else we incredibly does nothing and we die. So disable when everyone dead. Here he is. Move around depending on invulnerability. The fun thing is that his invulnerability state will also work when Arthas is using the bubble. So it even makes them some sort of AI when they are using bubble. Which is quite fun to think of. It doesn't exist in the game. No, here, I want you here. This, okay. The 3-1, I will not play fight dialogue. We just go to keep attacking, and here go to 3 enter, and here we, oh, this should be group 3, like here is group 2 exactly, and here we also disable the other one. I made a mistake, not this one. 3 attacked, and this is 3 attacking, and this is 3 tip Y. keep attacking. If we change only this. And no, this. And this. And yeah, it's all the same. 4. We have an abomination here, so we need to do it like always. Are you Trump? Armor Merchant, are you Trump? Are you Donald Trump? Because if Helen is going to unban you. Gosh. Donald Trump here in chat? Hello chat? Hello Donald Trump? I knew. Donald Trump, avid fan of Re-Reforged. Okay. So we have a problem with this. It's 3, not 2. And 3 and 3. Yeah. Yeah, my friend, you're 3. And here is 1, 2 is 1, and oh my god. This 2. 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. Okay, let's see. Maybe it works. And I need to enable them all. And I will still not enable in combat. Maybe I can also do this. Why not? And we can do this for every one of them. So this is. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's not great again. Okay, let's see. I made some encounters now. Let's see how this works. Okay, so timer should be much shorter now. Hopefully it works. Let's see if we can play more than one and see how it looks and feels, and with the music and all. I didn't watch Ender. I actually didn't even watch Kenobi. I think the last show from Star Wars I watched was The Mandalorian. I didn't even watch the Book of Boba Fett. I watched House of Dragons though, and I'm currently watching The Incredible Rings of Power.
Must feel.
Sorry, 1 second. How is the music? I could make Arthas even a bit more strong.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins. Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do. If we allow our passions to turn to bloodlust, we will become as vile as the orcs.
Okay, it was an acceptable shot, considering it's completely random where he is. We are still going. I should remove experience gain from him. He's regaining levels very slowly. This is amazing. I didn't thought of it. Let me check this now and then I'll...
You too, Arthas. It's been a while since a prince escorted me anywhere.
Yeah, very boring to destroy the buildings. I will increase his damage a bit. I think Arthas in the end campaign will be a powerhouse.
Yes, I ordered the Cult of the Damned to distribute the plagued grain. But the sole credit is not mine.
Memories. Of course this is too fast, okay? He's level 7 now. This is amazing. I need to increase his damage. This is tests. I'm testing Little Death Lord. I'm testing. So yeah, this is now message I use to understand what's happening. Okay, let's just not stay there.
And your choice is already made. Just remember, the harder you strive to slay your enemies, the faster you'll deliver your people right into their hands.
Actually, Armor Merchant in Re-Reforged, there is an hint on that. If you go to see when you will go and see the Stratholm Playable Interlude, you will see that there is a place where Jaina has thoughts and speak about having sex with him. Okay, so in Re-Reforged is not properly displayed, but it's of course hinted at. So it's subtle as it should be in a game like Warcraft, in my opinion. It's not a dating scene, okay? And it's not Date Jaina, okay? It's not the name of the game. Warcraft Date Jaina Edition. No, it's not that. And it's into that, so I should have covered that too. Yeah, not the animation. It's the main part was the game. Okay, so I am pretty happy with how this looks and feels. I'm using it with very low audio, so I don't have to use my headphones. So I don't really feel how it works with the audio because I almost can't hear him. But I think it looks and feels quite well, so I'm pretty happy. Of course the time is too short, I need to increase the timer. The timer was reduced for the sake of this testing. Yeah, I think that's it from the point of view of what we need to develop for this. One thing I want to add is that they should attack you if you destroy the mine, and when you enter here, he should start spawning all various buildings, and when he ends, if he doesn't die in the meantime, you will go here, basically starting gold mining if possible. Otherwise we'll just attack Arthas. Okay, so this is one thing I also want to do now. And there was, he will kill Mal'Ganis because Frostmourne is cool. And I had a question. It was, so what you think about Rings of Power? What I think about it. First of all, Rings of Power looks very good. I just watched the first 2 episodes, and I even completed the second one. So I'm like halfway through the second episode, and it looks very good in my opinion. Galadriel is bad. Really bad. It's like more villain than Arthas, and she is like not like I remember it from the films, from the movies. And then there is some wild shots. For example, there was a shot with Elrond and Celebrimbor. What's the name of the guy? The forger. I mean, the man who forged stuff, and the elf who forged stuff. And they were speaking about another kingdom. And you can then need fade to a map, and this map showed that this kingdom was quite far away from where they were. And the next scene, they were just walking into this kingdom, as if it was like the garden below the house. And this felt really odd to me, and it's not the only scene that felt odd to me in some way. Like Galadriel just jumping off the ship in the middle of the ocean. It seems very weird. Some stuff is not well written, in my opinion. To you, Mikkel. Okay. So, let's do this new thing. When we have this, we also want to enable the acolyte. So, we'll go to Scourge acolytes. Let's rename this. No, this is encountered, it's okay. Actually, it should be here, probably. It's even here. Encountered Scourge 04 Acolyte start. And so what does the Acolyte do? When we start this, and this is a trigger we execute, so it needs this. By the way, small interesting thing. But why do you think I am using these two commands every time, especially the second one, every time I use a trigger I want to execute? Basically, if you in the condition check if the trigger is on, you can prevent the trigger from being executed in the case it is run from another trigger if it's not properly enabled. It's a very, very powerful way to enforce your triggers to only run when you want them to run, even if they are not running through events. You have to know that if you are using events, when you are using events, if you turn off a trigger, it will no longer receive events, okay? Yeah, the idea is to play the Arthas Reforged theme on this, yes. And maybe at a lower volume. I have to test this because I can't basically hear the theme now. This is so low, my speakers are so low, so that I can speak and you don't hear the echo. This is I don't want you to hear the return of the sound from my computer. So now here what we need to do. We need to order this poor acolyte. Is to order a unit. It has Scourge Acolyte 2, and it should have Undead Acolyte and Summon, and we need to... Thank you! Thank you! Remit Sub? Remit Sub? Thank you, Remit Sub, for Death Lord. I appreciate that. Okay, so okay, so it's you subscribing. I don't know. I'm ignorant to many things Twitch related. This is started only recently, so thank you for the sub, then, Death Lord. I will thank you. Okay, so we need to... I should have prepared some damped variable. Here we are. And this is the index. So we should go and... Maybe we should go here. I really appreciate. And by the way, for all you subs, since there are only 3 subs in my Discord server, just scroll down your page. You see a Discord server. Join the Discord server. And you also get the chance to beta test my maps, okay? Not that it's very useful right now, because soon the entire world will beta test my maps. But this is something you can do. Now, I have automated it all. You can just scroll down, join the Discord server, and of course, you need to link your Twitch account to your Discord account, otherwise it will not work. What music did you link to me? No, I will not add Art as my song as a background music. I'm sorry, but Art as my song will play during the cinematic. I'm not joking. You can connect the accounts, and I think in like 15 minutes, half an hour, you'll be able to actually download them all in the beta stage. Also, I have opened a PayPal donation page for all people who don't want to, like, they don't want to subscribe on Twitch, don't want to support on Patreon, which still is the preferred way. You get a lot of benefits on Patreon, but just want one-off donation of a certain amount of money, like you want to donate $5, okay? It's hard to do with Patreon on Twitch, so you can do it this way using PayPal. I'm not really sure if it's possible to donate to me at this stage using Twitch. I'm ignorant on that. So if you know, you can tell me if you can or cannot, but doesn't matter, okay? I also prepared that possible system. So we have this. And here we have to no this index here, and we have to basically we need to first check if the current index is unsummon. If the current index is greater, if the current index is lower, this is the actual correct thing to check, is lower than the max one, the count, then you can do that, and then you can increase the index. And we have, where are you? Why can't I see you? What's my problem? Okay, here. Okay, and then once you've done this, I would like to check if I can find an event to an unsummoned building. My player green is unsummoned. Does it exist? Unsummoned. Maybe dies. Let me check. Maybe it dies. I think the bin dies if you unsummon it, so I think you can just use dies. And how can I check though? So we have something like that. Okay, and here when it dies, how can I check if it is the building being unsummoned? I guess I can check. Oh, yeah, I didn't remember that. You told me on Discord or here on Twitch. I don't remember. I'm sorry. No, 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 no. It doesn't mean that, my dear friend. It actually means that when a unit dies, we need to check if it is the last unsummon buildings. And so we can use this and this spawn last is too long. I'm sorry. I use L. Stupid game. Okay, it's last. And this is last. We will save it. And unsummon and we have also unsummon start, so we memorize it correctly. And this is target of, quindi should be start the effect of an ability, I think, and the ability being cast should be unsummon. Yes, it's you. It's you. Unsummon building. Then we need to save, set variable group 1 equal to target of ability being cast. Why this? Because the Scourge is actually retreating. They are willingly let Arthas through after it took Frostmourne. This is the point. This is the point. One thing, how can I make this simpler? Because this is too complex, I don't like this. I can actually add it to this, so I can actually decide that this one is the last one. So I can do this, too big. I can do this here and place it here, and instead of that I can use building the spawn and here the index, which is the old index before it's updated. And then so I don't need to use this is just unsummoned. And then when it dies, I have to check if the dying unit is that unit. Yes. Building, no. Buildings the spawn, where is spawn last, okay. And once I've done this, once I've ordered the acolyte to do this, I want to something like wait for, how much time does it require to spawn? Like 3 seconds. And then in the after these 3 seconds, I want to actually pause the poor acolyte. No. And then play cinematic working one. I don't remember the name. This name is probably wrong. I need to check the name in Reterra Model Studio, but I can be bothered to do so now. No. I want to please play this Scourge cinematic work one, something like that, but it's not. Or channeling, maybe. I don't remember stand channel. Maybe I have the model and it's 10 channel. No, it's not the stand work gold, but not. Yes, I played Dawn of War back in the day. And also Dawn of War 2. This is probably wrong. This is not well done. This is when it dies. If it is the spawn buildings, then you have to order the poor acolyte to go again. So let's do this. Not doing this for this time because I need to make sure it works correctly. I want to basically show an animation of the acolyte even after he started the spawning the building, just to show the animation. Okay, and here, when it despawn, I will just order the acolyte to go again. Quindi building on summon next, something like that. So it's this should be next. This requires the acolyte to be alive. Otherwise it don't work. And so if it dies when I do this, it just stop. I can just turn off this trigger, and I can when I do this, I can turn on the trigger here. I can turn off also this trigger and turn on this trigger here again. So we don't make mistakes. If not, it cannot happen. Okay, yes, it's very tentative. Enable attacks on Arthas, and when we enable attacks on Arthas, we also run unsummon. Start unsummoning buildings. Okay, let me check, and then I think I'm going to end this part for the YouTube viewers from the future. Actually, YouTube viewers, you will be seeing this when this is already released. So this is like the making of something you can already play. This is nice. Yeah, it's so cool if you make it work. The default animation is very hard because the stand gold is not looped. So if you use it, it will only do it once, and then you should do it every time by hand, which is just mind blown.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins. Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do. If we allow our passions to turn
He
to
should not do
bloodlust,
this. He
we will
should
become as vile as the orcs.
You too, Arthas. It's been a while since a prince escorted me anywhere.
No, pure acolyte.
Yes, I ordered the cult of the damned to distribute the plagued grain. But the sole credit is not mine.
And your choice is already made. Just remember, the harder you strive to slay your enemies, the faster you'll deliver your people right into their hands.
Now there is no. Okay. So he's disabling stuff. He should have an animation. Maybe they are despawning even a little too slow. I don't know, because the timer is longer. I will have to check this. Maybe increase artist damage so you can roll things and destroy everything. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the result. I still have to polish it a little bit. Yes, it will have chaos damage also in another campaign. And I have to polish it a bit, expand it to all the parts, but this is easy. It's more like I have to polish it, some edges, some timings, maybe some things to make sure some stuff is better, but except for that, I'm pretty happy. So, for all YouTube viewers from the future, I hope you like this Let's Dev. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can comment for the YouTube algorithm god. Remember, you can follow these lives on Twitch as well. You can support the project on Patreon. And as always, see you next time. I hope to really hear, and now it's when you see this is the future, but I really hope you will tell me how you feel this campaign is now that is completed.